G'day guys, thanks for tuning in for another ration review. Today we have a 24-hour Russian Army IRP, aka Individual Ration Pack. This is part 2, the lunch and the dinner. If you'd like to see part 1, the unboxing and the breakfast, please click up here. Please hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up to help grow my channel. Okay, let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome to lunch. This is obviously a two-part video, and in this video you're obviously going to see lunch and dinner. And for lunch we have vegetable ragu, we have a processed cheese, we have officer chocolate bar, we have the standard wheat crackers, and we have a pate here. Now I did use Google Translate on this and it does say pork, but it also says beef brains as well. We have a raspberry vitamin mineral drink, we have a tea, and also we have our main. Now this is beef and vegetables, or something similar to that. And first up we'll do our raspberry drink. Now this calls for around 200 mils of water, like before. And next up we'll mix up our tea. Now I imagine this is just a black tea here. Just a plain little tag there. Alright, and let's get everything open, starting with this brains pate. And next up we'll get our crackers open. Followed by our officer chocolate bar. That still looks alright. Little bit of bloom, but not too bad. And we'll get open our vegetable stew or ragu. And followed by our processed cheese. And finally, we'll get open our beef and vegetables. It does say something about some sort of artificial vegetables as well, so I don't really know whether Google's lying to me or not. Alright, first up we might try our vegetable ragu. Alright, let's have a look at that. Oh, it's fairly soft. Just looks like it's processed vegetables in there. A little bit of a tomato aroma coming off of that. Can't really see much in the way of what's inside. Smells like it's got a little bit of a spicy sort of aroma from it. Alright, we'll give that a try. Yeah, look, that's not too bad. It definitely has a sort of capsicum, sort of bell pepper sort of flavour coming from it. It's not spicy. Definitely tomatoes as well coming through. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, look, that's all right. It's almost like a thick tomato soup, for instance. Yeah, it's got a nice tomato flavour, nice peppers, onions. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, and next up we'll try our standard cracker. All right, we'll give that a bit of a smell first. Yeah, it's got that same kind of stale smell that the other one did. Anyway, we'll give that a try. Yeah, not as bad though. This one doesn't taste as bad as the other packet does. It's a nice mild cracker. No salt on it or anything like that. But you know what? That's not bad. All right, we will just have a little bit of our cracker and our vegetable ragu. I think that'll go down well. Yeah, they're miles better than the wholemeal cracker. They don't taste stale at all. All right, we'll just wash that down. A little bit of our raspberry multivitamin mineral drink. Get all that sugar to dissolve in there. All right, give that a try. Yeah, look, that's lovely. That's a great flavour. It's very mild in raspberry flavour, but you know what? It's not overly sweet either. So, and again, you don't get that sort of vitamin flavour coming through or that sports drink flavour coming through. Yeah, that's lovely. All right, and next up we might try processed cheese. Now, I've never been a fan of processed cheese in any ration, so it'd be interesting to see what this is like. Fairly soft. All right, we'll have a bit of a smell of that. Yeah, look, that smells like processed cheese. But anyway, let's give that a try. Yeah, look, I'm not a fan of this, I'm afraid. It does have a strong cheese flavour, not unlike the American MRE cheeses. It's very creamy though. That's the difference between this and the US MREs. This is a really creamy cheese and the mouth feels really nice, but you know what? It's just got that strong cheese flavour. Yeah, look, it's not too bad. It's just not my thing. But you know what? I'll try it on this cracker because I reckon that'll help for sure. All right, we'll give that a go. Yeah, look, that's okay. The cheese is really strong in flavour and it sort of overpowers the flavour of the cracker. So that's really all you can taste. But it is a really creamy cheese and it goes well with that cracker. All right, and we just wash this down with a bit of our tea. Yeah, that's a nice tea actually. It's definitely a black tea, but it kind of has a bit of a floral overtone that comes through. Definitely not a herbal tea by any means, but you know what? It definitely has a nice sort of fruity flavour. Yeah, quite a fan of that. All right, and next we're going to come to our pate of sorts. Now this is a pork pate, but doing the Google Translate, it comes up saying brains as well. So anyway, I'm not really a fan of pate, so I doubt I'm going to like this. But anyway, let's have a look. Fairly soft. Let's have a bit of a smell of that. Yeah, look, that's got a really strong meaty aroma to it there. Anyway, let's give that a try. You know what? It's not too bad. It actually doesn't have too strong a liver flavour at all. Obviously, it's not a liver pate as such. That maybe it's more pork and beef brains in there. But you know what? That's actually not too bad a flavour at all. You know what, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Spam. It's kind of got that kind of flavour to it. I reckon it's kind of a bit Spam-like. Looks like Spam and yeah, it definitely has a bit of a Spam flavour to it. Anyway, we'll try that on the cracker. Yeah, look, that's actually pretty good. I never thought I'd like this at all, but you know, I've watched a lot of ration reviews over the years and every time there's a pate come up, I dread it because that's something I wouldn't normally eat in my day-to-day life. All right, who'd have actually thought I would have liked this? But anyway, let's try a bit of a combination. So we've got our pate, a little bit of cheese here, and a little bit of our vegetable ragu on top. Anyway, let's give that a try. Who knows what this is going to be like. All right, here we go. Yeah, that was lovely. And the good thing about doing ration reviews is you get to try things that you ordinarily wouldn't try in your everyday life. And there's an example. I would never have eaten that pate had it been on a platter somewhere at a restaurant. No way. But in a ration review, I feel I have to give everything a try. And you know what? It wasn't too bad. All right, that brings us to our main. Obviously, we have our beef and vegetable here. What we might do is we might tip this out to get a bit of a closer look at it. And let's have a bit of a poke around. It looks like you've got one little slab of meat in the top here. It looks like a hamburger of sorts. Little bit of a meat patty. And then the rest of it is just this carrot and beans and the sauce. Let's just try a little bit of this sauce first on its own. Yeah, that sauce is nice. Let's give the beans and carrots a bit of a try. Yeah, they're nice also. No real texture to any of it. It all just melts in your mouth. These beans and these carrots are so soft that they almost just make up the sauce. But you know what? They've got a great flavour. Do a bit of a close-up of that. All right, and next up, let's have a look at this meat. Now, what it looks like is a little bit of a hamburger that looks like it's been just dropped in the top. Looks like it might have been fried separately. There's a little bit of dark colours in there. All right, let's fish out a little bit of that just on its own. Give you a bit of a close-up look at that. There you go. Looks like a little bit of a piece of hamburger there. All right, we'll give that a try. Yeah, that's nice, you know. Can't really taste too much. Doesn't have a lot of flavour other than the sauce. All you can really taste is just that sort of tomatoey, sort of spicy pepper sauce. It's definitely got a nice meaty texture to it. It's definitely not processed meat as such. Definitely feels like it's a mince meat hamburger, I guess. Yeah. There you go. Now that's the last of the meat. I feel maybe there could have been a little bit more, but you know what? Yeah, that's a good main. And finally, that brings us to our dessert, which is obviously our Officer chocolate bar. Now, I'm more of a fan of these dark chocolates than I am milk chocolate, so I'm really going to enjoy this. Yeah, that's a lovely piece of chocolate indeed. It is very different to a milk chocolate where it's sweet. This is not sweet at all, and it definitely has a nice chocolate bitterness to it as well. Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, it's a very crunchy chocolate as well. It's very hard. It's not like milk chocolate that's soft. You know what? That's my favourite chocolate of all in a ration. Alright guys, that is the lunch review done. Let's talk about what we liked and what we didn't like. This vegetable stew, that wasn't too bad. Almost like a thick, spicy tomato soup. That was good. The processed cheese, look, I'm never a fan of the processed cheese. They're too strong a flavour for me. Definitely not my cup of tea. The cup of tea, that was good. That was just the traditional black tea, but it had some nice fruity overtones to it. Quite nice. We had a raspberry multivitamin mineral drink. That was nice as well. Officer chocolate bar. That is the best chocolate in any ration. Well, for me anyway. I do like that dark chocolate. That's beautiful. These crackers, these held out better than the breakfast crackers did. These didn't have a stale flavour at all. And we had our brains pate. You know what? I never would eat this normally in my everyday life. But here we are in a review and I had to give it a go. And look, I've nearly eaten half of it. That's not too bad at all. And our main. You know what? That wasn't too bad either. The beans and the carrot, they all just melt in your mouth and form some sort of sauce. And then you had a nice piece of meat in there. Not too spicy, but you know what? Great, wholesome main there for sure. All right, guys, that'll be it. And we'll catch you at dinner. And this is going to be the dinner for tonight. And this is what we've selected. We have the salted bacon or spick, standard crackers. We have apple puree, cherry multivitamin drink, and beef and meatballs. Sounds good. All right, and we'll start off with our cherry drink, and just like the other ones, calls for 200 mils. All right, and let's get everything else open. So here is our apple puree. Bit dark. And next we'll open up our standard crackers. And now we'll open up our spick or salted bacon. This is probably going to be the most interesting looking component. Oh, shoo, boy. Holy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh. And finally we have our beef meatballs. All right, and first up we'll try our cherry multivitamin drink. Yeah, that's a lovely cherry drink there. None of that vitamin flavour comes through, or that sports drink sort of isotonic flavour. None of that comes through. It's just a good mild cherry flavour. All right, and there's nothing left for me to do other than to try this. Oh boy. Let's have a bit of a smell of this first. It's kind of got a very mild sort of bacon aroma or meat aroma coming through. I don't know what all this white material is. Oh, shit, I don't even know where to start with this thing. All right, let me tip this out. Oh, that looks worse. All right. So obviously we've just got the bacon. So you can sort of see a bacon, looks like the rind of a bacon across the top there. And then the rest of this looks like bacon fat. Oh, shit. You know, and there's no real meat in there that I can sort of see. I think it's just bacon fat. All right. Bottoms up. Oh, well, look. I can tell you it doesn't taste fantastic. It doesn't taste awful, but you know what? It doesn't taste great either, but it's the consistency of it. It's almost like it's thick gelatin or something. Oh, hang on. That might be a little bit more meat other than just gelatin, which is what I got before. Yeah, look, that's not too bad now. Obviously, it's just sort of mixture of chunks of meat and sort of, you know, jelly sections. But here it looks like there's a big chunk of meat in the middle here. There you go, have a look at that. You know, it is obviously very greasy and very oily, and it doesn't have a strong flavour at all. You know, it's a very, very mild bacon sort of flavour that comes through. And, you know, it's not unpleasant, but it's also, you know what, it's not pleasant either. Now, I'm doing a little bit of surgery around here. I think there's a huge chunk of bacon in there. This looks like it's a little bit more up my alley. All right, before I lose it, I'll just show you that. So there you go, you can sort of see it's like a big chunk of bacon, but you know what? It's surrounded by this gelatinous, oily greasiness. And it doesn't have that satisfying bacon flavour, very sadly. Yeah, look, that's really not for me, I tell you. That's definitely not the sort of thing that I would ever want to eat again. But you know what? In a ration, I've got to give it a go. And the way they apparently eat it is basically just on a cracker like that. You don't heat it up, you just have it cold. So we'll try it the way that they do. Yeah, look, that's not bad, having it on the cracker, because then you got some contrast. Otherwise, it's all just oily gristle and gelatinous muck. You know, it's really not the nicest thing that you could ever have, but at least on the cracker you've got some sort of contrast. So yeah, I guess on the cracker it's not too bad. You know, on its own, nah, that's a miss. That's a big miss. All right, we'll just wash that down with a bit more of our cherry drink, and then we'll swizzle that around so we can't taste it anymore. All right, moving on from that, we'll go to our main. Here we have our beef meatballs. We'll give that a try once I clean that. All right, so we'll give this a bit of a look at. You can see that they are fairly big chunks of beef in there, and it looks like they're just in some sort of gravy. So this looks like it's going to be great. All right, let's just try this gravy first. Just on its own, give that a try. Yeah, that's a good meaty gravy. No spice in it whatsoever. It's just a really nice meaty gravy flavor. And I'm suspecting that the meat is just going to have no flavor other than just meat as well. There you go, give that a try. Yeah, look, that's just like eating meat. There's really no other flavor to it other than the meat and the gravy. But you know what? It's really satisfying. It's a really nice mouthfeel to it as well. There's no vegetables in it that you can taste or feel. It really is just a piece of meat. Yeah, that is lovely. Very simple, very rustic food, but you know what? Very, very tasty. And again, try a little bit on our cracker there. Give that a try. Yeah, that's lovely. You can see that there is some onions in the gravy as well. Maybe they're just all soaked to the bottom there. But you know what? This is really, really nice. Give you a close-up look at that. There you go. Yeah, I am loving this. It is just simple flavors, simple wholesome flavors, just mincemeat, onions and gravy. Yeah, that's a winner. And next that brings us to our apple puree. It's a little bit dark. I would have thought apple puree would be a little bit lighter, but you know what? Let's give that a bit of a smell first. We'll see what that smells like. Yeah, it doesn't smell of much, so let's give it a go. Oh, okay. Not like the apple puree you would expect. It isn't sweet at all. In fact, it's really, really bitter. It tastes like it's had all the sugar taken out of it, and it just tastes of the apples. I was kind of thinking this was a dessert, but now I'm not so sure. Because it isn't sweet at all. It doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't taste sweet like I had in my head before I tried it. I thought, here we go, here's dessert. But it's not. It's just this a apple flavor, unsweetened. But you know what? Not bad. All right, I'm going to try something a little bit out of the box. There you go. A bit of meat on side our cracker. And let's top that with a little bit of our apple. All right, give that a try. Yeah, that's okay. I kind of probably spoiled it a little bit. You know what? Just these meatballs on their own are probably fine. They really do not need anything else at all. They've just got a great mild flavor. Really nice. All right, guys, that's the end of the review. Let's talk about what we liked and what we didn't like. And clearly we know what I didn't like. And we'll start with that. That is the salted bacon there, or the spick. That was terrible. You know, bacon's such a beautiful flavor, and had that had a really strong bacon flavor coming through, that wouldn't be so bad, but it was really mild. And then the rest of it was just grease and jellied grease and all kinds of shitness. That was terrible. These crackers were good. Again, better than the wholemeal crackers we had at breakfast. These didn't taste as stale. And we had our apple puree. Now I thought this was going to be a dessert puree, but it's not. It's more a savory apple. flavour there, but that was nice. We had our cherry multivitamin drink. Yeah, all the drinks in this ration were really good, including the cherry. But the best part of the dinner was beef meatballs. Look at them. That is just the nicest, simplest meal that you could have. Beautiful gravy and just great texture in the meat there, and a great flavour as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really would appreciate it. And cheers. See ya. Catch you on the next one. Bye.